USAA knows dynamic duos can save the day, like superheroes and sidekicks or auto and home insurance. With USAA, you can bundle your auto and home and save up to 10%. Learn more and get a quote at usaa.com/bundle. Restrictions apply.
This episode is brought to you by Temptations Cat Treats. Your cat will come running for the perfectly irresistible Temptations Creamy Puree and Temptations Lickable Spoon Cat Treats. The best time to feed lickable cat treats to your cat is anytime. Feed by hand for a playful moment, in a bowl for a creamy treat, or as a topper to make mealtime fun. Visit temptationstreats.com to learn more.
Welcome to Fun Facts Daily, your source for just the good stuff. Monday through Friday, we're bringing fun facts and news you can use, all carefully curated to uplift and inform. So give yourself a break, relax, and learn something awesome in just a few minutes every day. Hi everyone, I'm Kyle Wood. Today we're going to be learning about the big, furry, and fascinating world of bears. But before we get into the facts, let's warm up our brains with a little challenge to tell truth from fiction. Consider this. We often talk about bears hibernating for the winter, sleeping soundly for months on end, but is it possible that you could accidentally disturb their sleep and wake them up when they're supposed to be hibernating because some bears don't hibernate at all? What do you think? I'll reveal the truth at the end of this episode. Now for the word of the day. Our word for today is plantigrade. Plantigrade is an adjective used to describe animals that walk on soles of their feet, just like humans do. Bears are a perfect example of a plantigrade animal. This is different from animals like dogs and cats, which walk on their toes and are called digitigrades. The word plantigrade comes from the Latin word planta, meaning sole, and gradus, meaning to walk. So it literally means to walk on the sole. A bear's footprint shows this in action, as you can see the impression of the entire foot from heel to toe. Time for your daily high five, our top 5 fun facts about bears. Number 1, a polar bear's fur isn't actually white. It might look like they're perfectly matched to their snowy surroundings, but polar bears have clear, hollow hair shafts. Their fur appears white because the hollow tubes scatter and reflect all visible light, the same reason snow and ice appear white. This clever adaptation is a fantastic form of camouflage, helping them blend in while hunting seals on the ice. So, while they look like the kings of a whiteout world, they are technically colorless. Underneath all that transparent fur, a polar bear's skin is jet black. This dark skin is better at absorbing the sun's rays, helping the bear stay warm in the frigid Arctic environment. So, if you were to shave a polar bear, which I absolutely do not recommend, you'd find a very different looking animal underneath. And here's a little bonus fun fact about polar bears. They could be considered sea creatures. It might seem unusual, but polar bears are classified as marine mammals. The polar bear is so uniquely adapted to and dependent on the ocean that it is the only bear species to earn this classification. In fact, their scientific name, Ursus maritimus, literally means sea bear. This designation, recognized by bodies like the U.S. Marine Mammal Protection Act, is due to the fact that polar bears spend the majority of their lives on or in the water of the Arctic Ocean. They rely almost completely on the marine ecosystem for their survival, using the sea ice as a platform to hunt their primary food source, seals. To thrive in this environment, they have evolved incredible adaptations, including large, partially webbed front paws to paddle through the water, a thick layer of blubber for insulation against the cold sea, and a streamlined skull for swimming. Their entire life cycle, from hunting to mating, is inextricably linked to the sea ice. Number 2, bears have a sense of smell that is the stuff of legends. A bear's sense of smell is like a superpower. To put it in perspective, a bloodhound is famous for its powerful nose, but a black bear's sense of smell is estimated to be about 7 times stronger than that. It's believed that a bear can smell a food source from several miles away. Their nasal mucous membrane, which is the part of the nose that detects odors, is about 100 times larger than a human's. This incredible olfactory ability is crucial for their survival. It helps them find food, locate mates, avoid dangers like other dominant bears, and keep track of their cubs. The part of the bear's brain that analyzes smells, the olfactory bulb, is about 5 times the size of a human's, even though their brains are smaller overall. This brain power dedicated to just smell allows them to understand their environment in a way we can only imagine. Number 3, the smallest bear in the world has a very sunny name. Meet the sun bear, the smallest of all bear species, found in the tropical rainforests of Southeast Asia. A full-grown sun bear can weigh as little as 60 pounds and stand only about 4 feet tall. That's smaller than a lot of large dogs. They get their name from the unique golden yellow, crescent-shaped patch of fur on their chests, which, according to legend, represents the rising sun. Sun bears are perfectly adapted to life in the trees. They have long, sickle-shaped claws that help them climb and tear open trees to find their favorite foods, insects, larvae, and honey. In fact, they have an incredibly long tongue, up to 10 inches long, which they use like a multi-tool to expertly extract honey from beehives, earning them the nickname honey bear. Number 4. The title of the largest land carnivore on the planet goes to the Kodiak bear, a species of brown bear found exclusively on the islands of the Kodiak archipelago in Alaska. Males can stand over 10 feet tall on their hind legs and weigh up to 1,500 pounds. That's the weight of a small car. Their massive size is attributed to the rich food sources available on their isolated island habitat. The Kodiak Islands provide a bear buffet, most notably featuring an abundance of salmon. During the salmon run, these bears feast on the protein-rich fish, allowing them to pack on the pounds and reach their colossal size. This isolated and nutrient-dense environment has allowed the Kodiak bear to evolve into the undisputed heavyweight champion of the terrestrial carnivore world. It's worth noting, however, that not all bears are carnivores. In fact, most have a very diverse diet. While we often think of bears as fierce predators, most bear species are omnivores. This means their diet is incredibly varied and flexible. For example, about 90% of a grizzly bear's diet is made up of grasses, berries, roots, and nuts. They are opportunistic eaters, meaning they'll eat just about anything they can find. This flexible diet is a key to their success in a wide range of habitats. A black bear in the spring might eat new vegetation and fawns, switch to berries and insects in the summer, and then fatten up on nuts and acorns in the fall. Their teeth are even adapted to this varied diet, with sharp canines for tearing meat and flat molars for grinding up tough plant matter. And our 5th and final fun fact for today, Lord Byron brought a bear to college. The eccentric but brilliant romantic poet Lord Byron was famous for his rebellious spirit, which he demonstrated perfectly during his time as a student at Trinity College, Cambridge, in the early 1800s. The college had a strict rule that no dogs were allowed to be kept by students in their rooms. To protest what he saw as a ridiculous rule, Lord Byron found a clever loophole and an even more ridiculous solution. The statutes said nothing about bears, so he went out and purchased a tame bear. He would take his new companion for walks around the college grounds on a chain, much to the astonishment and frustration of the college authorities. When confronted, Byron argued that since bears were not explicitly forbidden, he was doing nothing wrong. In a famous letter, he even wrote that he suggested his bear, quote, should sit for a fellowship, end quote. Byron ultimately won the argument, and the bear was allowed to stay, becoming one of history's most unusual college pets. Now for some news you can use. Here's a tip for respecting bears and staying safe if you're ever in bear country, like a national park. The best way to avoid a negative encounter with a bear is to make sure they know you're there. While hiking, make noise. Talk loudly with your companions, sing a song, or clap your hands every now and then, especially when you're near loud running streams or in areas with dense bushes where a bear might not see you coming. This works because bears will almost always choose to avoid humans. Don't think of the noise as trying to scare the bear, but rather politely announcing your presence so you don't surprise it. A surprised bear is far more likely to feel threatened and act defensively. But what if you do encounter a bear? The most important rule is to never run, as this can trigger a bear's chase instinct. Instead, remain calm and assess the situation. If the bear seems unaware of you, just back away slowly and quietly. If the bear sees you and is acting defensively, perhaps it was surprised or it's with its cubs, you should stand your ground but speak to it in a calm, low voice while slowly waving your arms. The goal is to show that you're a human and not a threat. You should make yourself look as big as possible and slowly back away, but do not run. In the very rare event of an attack from a brown or grizzly bear acting defensively, you should play dead. But if it's a black bear that attacks, or if any bear attack seems predatory rather than defensive, you should fight back with everything you have. And now the moment you've been waiting for. At the beginning of the show, I asked if it's true that some bears don't actually hibernate. The answer is that's a fact. While we use the word hibernation as a catch-all, many bears, like black and grizzly bears, don't enter a true deep hibernation. Instead, they enter a state called torpor. In a true hibernation, an animal's body temperature drops to near freezing, its heart rate slows dramatically, and it can take a long time for them to wake up. Bears in torpor, however, only drop their body temperature by about 10 degrees. While their heart rate does slow, they're able to wake up much more easily if disturbed. This is a crucial survival adaptation, especially for a mother bear who needs to be able to defend her cubs from danger even in the middle of winter. So while they can sleep for months without eating or drinking, they're not completely out of it like a hibernating groundhog would be. Now, I hope you enjoyed learning about bears with me, and be sure to tune in every weekday for even more fun facts. Fun Facts Daily is an Airwave Media podcast. It was written, recorded, mixed, and edited by me, Kyle Wood. Thanks for sharing a part of your day with me. Be sure to follow Fun Facts Daily on your favorite podcast app so you can keep the good stuff coming your way every day. And if you like the show, please do me a favor and leave a kind rating, review, or just tell your friends about it.